Ladies, here is what birth control is doing to your body. What we know about birth control is it stops ovulation. I actually had a video go viral on this topic that had over 1.2 million views because it's so controversial. And not everybody is gonna agree with me, but I'm gonna give you the facts on how birth control works and you decide what's best for you. So we know it stops ovulation. All birth control typically contains progesterone and estrogen in high enough amounts where it signals your brain to not produce luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. That keeps you from ovulating. If you don't ovulate, you can't become pregnant. So some people disagree with me where I say it's tricking your body into thinking you're pregnant. When you're pregnant, you produce massive amounts of FSH and LH, which keep you from ovulating because you are already pregnant. So you're no longer dropping eggs. So it's working very much in the same mechanism. The difference is when your body produces progesterone and estrogen in a monthly cycle, it's doing so at different quantities throughout the month. Those levels go up prior to ovulation. So if you conceive, your levels are high and waiting for implantation, and then they keep going up. If you do not become pregnant, then those levels drop and you shed your uterine lining as those hormones drop. What you need to know is if you're on birth control and having periods, those aren't actually real periods. That is actually called a fake period, or what's called a withdrawal period. And that is to confirm that you are not pregnant. There's a lot of question around whether or not this is safe. Now, I understand people go on birth control for different reasons. People go on birth control to prevent pregnancy. It's effective. But a lot of women end up on birth control and they don't even know why, and they don't want to be on it. They end up on it because of heavy bleeding or heavy cramping, or they're told that they have to take this. They have no other option, when that is simply not true. When you know a woman's hormone makeup, and I'm gonna give you some examples of that, you know better ways to approach this naturally. And unfortunately, and I'm not poo-pooing OB-GYNs, it is a big method of treatment for OB-GYNs to use birth control. But if you see a doctor, be it a primary care physician, a nurse practitioner, an OB-GYN who is trained on natural family planning, they're gonna approach this very differently. They're gonna approach it with the way your own hormone system is working, trying to get to the root of it and giving you natural hormones and only the hormones you need when you need them. There's other methods out there other than NFP. One is called the Wiley method or the Wiley protocol. It's very much the same concept. We're taking a look at when your body is making certain hormones, or why your body is making too much of something or not enough of something, and we're correcting it. So when you have the right hormone testing, you can do that. So if you're a woman on birth control because you have PCOS, what you typically expect to see with PCOS is high testosterone, low progesterone, and insulin resistance. Well, the birth control component isn't doing anything for that insulin resistance. So if you target that insulin and blood sugar, if you target that low progesterone, you're going to see a great effect naturally. If you're androgen dominant, there are things you can do naturally to switch from that androgen dominance to making more of a beta hormone pathway. That's how we naturally correct PCOS, short-term and long-term. If you're taking birth control because of very heavy periods, what'll happen a lot of the time is you're told to take birth control without having those fake periods so that you can have breaks from having periods completely. But the biggest reason for heavy periods is estrogen dominance due to high estrogen or low progesterone. Taking birth control is not getting to that root cause issue, and it's certainly not fixing it. And there may be certain risks long term. We know people who are estrogen dominant may be at higher risk for hormone positive cancer. So when you're taking birth control, we know it can increase your risk for this. When you think about how many people out there smoke, and even more, how many vape, especially young girls that are vaping, we know that taking birth control and smoking is simply not safe. We're seeing an increased risk for blood clots, stroke. These are things that put you at higher risk if you're a smoker and take birth control. So there are alternative options, but you have to do the right testing. And I'm such a big fan of Precision Analytics Dutch Complete Hormone Test, because then you can see exactly what that person's hormone system is doing and work backwards. So if it's high DHEA, there are things that you can do. That means you're androgen dominant. We look to see if that DHEA is turning into high testosterone. I don't see that much high testosterone in women, to be honest. So what I see a lot of is insulin resistance. And then we take a look to see if that woman has low progesterone, because you can have low progesterone at any age. So in women that are put on birth control for hormone-related migraines, most often than not, these are women with low estrogen. So really it's about getting to the root cause, because these hormonal imbalances don't get corrected with birth control. We have to correct that hormonal imbalance because, ladies, we need our hormone system for life. Now, from puberty to menopause, we're really reliant on our ovaries, but after menopause, we become more reliant on our androgens, on things like testosterone. So it's really important you have your hormones working for you and not working against you. And there's a lot of natural ways you can do it. Some people go towards, instead of synthetic, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. I still feel that that should be an absolute last resort. What we want to do is get your body making more hormones on its own by using hormone precursors. So what are hormone precursors? Those are androgens. So things like DHEA can be used, if you have low DHEA, to help your body make more estrogen and testosterone, because that's what DHEA does in men and in women. It makes estrogen and it makes testosterone. We can use things like pregnenolone as a precursor to progesterone. We can use natural progesterone cream, or we can use homeopathic hormone replacement therapy, which contains no hormones. All it does is get your body making more hormones on its own. So when we give your body the ingredients it needs to make hormones, your body can make it. I've been doing this for 20 years. Every year in practice, I see people's hormone levels improve without hormone replacement therapy and without birth control naturally. You just need the right testing to know what you're walking into. So check out the link to the Precision Analytics Dutch Complete Hormone Test. I don't expect you to be able to know how to interpret it on your own. Usually you have to work with a health practitioner to design the roadmap, but at least you have access to the right type of testing. Secondly, consider things like detoxification. What I have seen with detoxification is it helps reset the hormone system. Hormones are conjugated in your liver. Glucose is metabolized in your liver. When you do things like detoxification, it makes your production of hormones more efficient. And if you need one-on-one help with your hormones, contact us at The Wellness Connection. I have 3 amazing functional medicine practitioners on my team that would be more than happy to work with you. You don't have to be local to work with us. About half of the patients we work with virtually. The link will be in the description.